Ni har så många. Och hur är det att vara på läktaren igen då? Har ni saknat skjutsäsongen? Ja, men då tror vi ska göra oss redo för lite vågen här. Är ni beredda på det? Caroline är ju expert på att göra vågen, så att nu ska vi
Trea. 64 2.
Ja, 94 skulle den röras. 5-5 och Medlin.
Jajamän. Nummer 9.
Då måste du plocka bort magasinet, du måste väga den där också.
Ja.
9.
Nej, inte 9. Och
10 kommer. 112.
Ja, nummer 11.
Nej. 13 kommer.
13. Hallå.
Den är snabbskjuten. 16. Ja, 16. Och 3-5-6-0.
Yeah, for you. Nice.
Den har vi tagit den på.
Ja, jag har det. Fina folk. Tack.
Well, a very good morning and welcome to the opening day of the Biathlon World Cup Sweden. We're back in Oestersund as we have been on many occasions for the start of the year. A tough course, but beautifully designed one. Great stadium. We normally get a little bit of wind at this time of year, and so there could be one or two issues, but the conditions are pretty calm at the moment. Air temperature, as you can see, at -9, not quite as cold as it is in the north of Finland, and the wind max 2 kilometers per hour, but expect a few changes as the race goes on.
Well, the biathletes will be delighted. The lack of wind here. Oestersund, generally, when you think of Oestersund, you think about difficult conditions on the range, but that's changed today. Not a significant influence, so pleasing for all, I would say.
Well, there's the town, and let's cast our eye over the start sheet. Always get a big field at this time of year, and it's the longest race of the season with the individual. Always slightly confused why they choose the longest one of the year for the first one of the season, Mike. It seems a bit cruel.
I suppose, and I like the way they planned it. So a race today, a race again tomorrow, and then 3 days before the next outing. So yes, get the distance. There are only 3 distance races now in the calendar. There used to be 7, and I think it's one that most of the athletes, it's the real test, and today especially with easy shooting conditions, it's a real test of the endurance side of cross-country skiing combined with the accuracy and the calmness of shooting. Just saw further back, Susan Dunkley pulling out, so not often that happens. And there's Amanda Lightfoot, bib number 86 today, local time 12:28 she'll be starting. It's a huge field of starters. We haven't seen such a big field with it being an Olympic season. The early World Cup is always packed out with athletes trying to make the grade. Retsova back in after a year's break. She'll be the last, I think, of the big names to challenge.
116 in all, and they're going to have to get used to racing in front of fans again, Mike. That will be interesting for Tyrell Eckhoff. And I wonder whether that's going to affect her defence chances when it comes to regaining that world title, the World Cup title that she won last year.
There she is. Sorry, there's Öberg. Hannah Öberg, as always, very calm. The strength of her biathlon incredible when she was only 20-year-old 4 years ago, taking the Olympic title in this event.
Yeah, but a lot of the talk is about her sister this year, Elvira, making a huge impression with her ski speed. And obviously it comes down to the shooting in the end. There's the winner of this race last year, Dorothea Vera of Italy.
Although she'll find it difficult to get the memories out of her head of her last race here, the very last race of the season, into the last shoot in 2nd place and finishing in 26th place. She had a lockdown on the range. That's in the past. I'm sure that won't happen ever again in her career.
She hopes. But so many of the greats have them. Raphael Poiret, what was it, 1994 in Oberhof World Championships? He had one of those days.
He did, over a minute. 2004 it was. He's not that old.
2004, not 1994. So we're now just a matter of seconds away from the start of the biathlon season, and we get it all underway here in Oestersund. There's the defending champion, Tyrell Eckhoff. Reasonably early start for her, starting number 3, but she'll be chasing Anna Macker of Poland, who starts ahead of Bendika of Latvia. I imagine we may well see Eckhoff leading the race come the second shoot. So 15 kilometres, 4 shoots in all, and a chance to see how effective all that summer training has been. Barbara Bendika just outside the top 40 in the overall standings last year. Issues really come down to the standing shoot. Her stats at around 70%, and she needs to be closer to 80 to stand a chance of getting into the World Cup points regularly. But she finished the season reasonably well. Now, Eckhoff. Not many of the big names amongst the retired athletes backing her to double up this season. But with success, you grow confidence. And there's not much doubt that she was a different beast at the end of last season than she was at the start of the previous season.
I think she'll hold on to it, Patrick. She's when you begin to understand shooting, and especially calmness, and that's what Oberegger has placed in her mind. She can control herself now when it comes into shooting, and I think Eckhoff will still be the main one to catch this year. Preutz had a great year last year, finishing 3rd overall, and she found her way. She found the podium on many occasions. So next up, Selina Gasparin from Pontresina, coming towards the end of her career, 37-year-old now, and did come back into racing last year, had a few good outings. The ski speed is good, and surprisingly, occasionally last year, it was her shooting which let her down. Again, a positive start, a dynamic start there from Gasparin. Kuklina next, the 30-year-old. She only given one race at the World Championships. The shooting was good. It was in this, the individual. She only missed 1 target. And she'll be hoping for a top 15, a top 10 today even. Today it is all about the shooting. 1 minute added onto your time for each of the 20 targets missed. Tandrevold winning the last race of the season. Can she start the new season the same way?
So the next of the Norwegians underway, Ingrid Landmark, Tandrevold. They've got a very strong squad. Tandrevold, Roysland, and of course Eckhoff there as well. They've never had the numbers that, say, Germany have had, but it's rare for them to have 3 such talented athletes at the top of the table. Merkashina now for Ukraine.
Well, from what I've heard, she's better all round last year. She was in and out of the team last year. Her ski speed wasn't quite there. And 13th at the World Championships in this event. Hopefully her form is more stable this time round. Well, this race last year, it was up in Finland. I think a surprise for many when Persson finished 5th on that occasion with perfect shooting. And that is Persson's strength, the ability to knock those targets down. Easy start out of the stadium. It's the only easy part of the track, 300 meters. Dorothea Vera just going through her final prep. She starts bib number 15. Simon from Les Saisies, the Olympic venue for 1992. She must have happy memories from the World Championships in Pokljuka, where in the single mixed relay, her descending skills took her to the top there in the team. Hannah Öberg, she knows this range better than most. She lives here. And she'll be hoping to hit 19 or more today. And if she does, I think it could well be a victory for Öberg early on in the season. She placed 2nd at the World Championships.
Now, what's Eckhoff's opening 1.5 been like? She looks very, very smooth and short stabbing action with the arm as she starts the big climb. Bendika at 4:45. Eckhoff should be just inside that. Not by much though. 5.6 the margin. That's a solid start, but not foolish.
Sensibly paced. I think you can just see the ease there, the efficiency from Eckhoff.
I wonder, as we watch Preutz of Germany, it'd be nice to see the Germans come back to their previous standard. Norway a little bit too dominant last year, Mike. 38 wins from the 75 races. It's a staggering effort
Oh, and so many of them came from Eckhoff. She found the winning mixture, and I think she'll have it this year. Just as Preutz goes past there, I'm not overly keen on the new German suit this year, and many teams, of course, Olympic season adopting new suits. Emma Lunder starting now for Canada.
Comes from Canmore, of course, the venue for the 1988 Winter Games. Have you been back there since, Mike?
Yes, I was. There was a further World Cup when I was racing, went back there. What a beautiful location that is.
So, former overall World Cup winner, and of course the defender of the first race of the season from last year, won in Kontiolahti. It was a good race. Vera ahead of Hermann, ahead of Schottheim, and then of course Öberg.
You can often feel an athlete's intent within the first couple of 100 metres. I thought Vera, yeah, the form from what I've heard is good, and she'll be expecting a lot.
What about Vitozzi though? She's pretty much got a personal coach. Her skiing has been good over the last couple of weeks, so the form is much better, but she has to turn it around. It was a really disappointing season last year.
Yes, and a big rivalry there. It'll be interesting, actually. Will they put each other off? Vera with Vitozzi starting 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential for that to happen as Tandrevold goes through 9.9 outside her teammates' opening bid. Yulia Zhima now for Ukraine.
Zhima, she's one of these personalities where the confidence is great, and in this event she comes to her best. She showed us that in Antholz at the World Cup there prior to the World Champs, hitting all the targets.
Lisa Theresa Hauser had very, very good season last year. 2 silver medals at the World Championships. One coming in the mixed relay, one coming in the pursuit, where she shot exceptionally well and just missing out on the podium in the individual with 2 misses on the last shoot. So the early athletes into the range. Baiva Bendika already gone past Anna Maka.
Can see her pulse there. It's dropped all the way down to 137 beats a minute by the last shot, but 2 penalties. Shooting is her weakness. Bendika, she skis so well. Slight influence there. You can see the wind was just moving her here on that 3rd shot. There is a slight breeze now.
So 1 minute added to Eckhoff's time. That doesn't put her out of contention, but it won't help, and won't help the confidence either, as Hannah Öberg goes through the first split. 5 seconds up on Eckhoff. She's started very, very positively indeed.
You can just see the huge foresight at the very front of the rifle, above where the bullet comes out. A huge, wide space there to view the target. It certainly works for Preutz.
Yeah, Preutz is going to take the lead, and by a huge margin. So Preutz leads, Maka in 2, Eckhoff down in 3 with 1 miss, and giving away 5 seconds to Franziska Preutz in that first loop. So that's an encouraging sign for the German. Roisland, second in the overall at the end of last year. 2 gold medals from the World Championships, both coming in relays. And then, of course, got a win here in the pursuit at the end of last season. Kukliner at 19.9 coming in. This is going to have to be a very quick shoot. She can certainly squeeze into second place ahead of Selena Gasparin, who's started well. 3 clear shoots at the moment.
total ease and relaxation through the rifle. That's often what you need. It's there's pressure, it's expensive. In that one split second when you squeeze the trigger, you know there's a punishment of a minute, so calmness on the rifle is important. Well, so far, exceptional shooting, and that's largely the lack of wind. And it's a very easy range to come into. Your pulse drops down as low as in many or any other venues on the world circuit.
Yeah, I was just, Tandrevold's one of those athletes who's been so close on so many occasions. And of course, that run came to an end last year when she finally got her first ever World Cup win, and it was in the last race of the season. So she's looking to make it 2 in a row here in Oestersund. She must have a feel-good factor about this particular course and the range. Persson.
I'm sure Persson would have thought many scenarios, but not missing the first shot. She's normally better than that.
Yeah. Herman just underway, Mike. Interested to see what she does this season. Got second place, as I mentioned, in this race last year. And I think after achieving that, many of the Germans thought Herman was going to be one of the dominant and challenging athletes for the overall title.
Yes, I remember. I was one of those people. I thought at last she's mastered the shooting. And but it didn't show that the rest of the season, that progress from this first race.
Yeah, first 2 weeks were okay.
Oh, Julie Simon missing 3. That's a terrible start to her race.
Yeah, it's not much good from Hannah Öberg either, with 2 misses. That's not how you win World Cups. She's got a lot to do over the remainder of this race. 3 shoots remaining, 4 shoots, remember, in the individual, and instead of penalty loops, just a whopping minute added onto your time for every miss.
I love the way that Hannah Öberg, she showed nothing of the pain that was going through her mind, that missing straight away, 2 minutes added on. She just kept calm, and she'll think, just keep it to routine for the next times in.
Here's our race leader, Franziska Preups. Very good start from her, and a lead of 20 seconds over Tandrevold. Gasparin, the oldest of the Gasparin sisters, Selina Gasparin, or Gasparin, we should say.
So another new name from the Russian team. 27-year-old Ingba Tulina.
Yeah, that was solid.
30 seconds. I always think with the individual race, it's so much at stake. You can afford 2 or 3 seconds slower. Most biathletes now taking from stop to start and 5 shots fired, around 27 seconds. No harm in just backing off a couple of seconds in this race. Vera, 13 seconds to the first shot. She's not backing off at all. Magnificent.
Brilliant. She went clear to win last year, and she wasn't the only one on that occasion in Kontiolahti, but it was a good battle that she had with Denise Herman. Herman actually missing a target on the very first shoot. But Vera has started well. Now, Lisa Vitozzi.
Vitozzi so fast to the first shot. Only 11 seconds to the first shot, as that cost her to pick up 3 added minutes. In a 24-second period, 3 minutes added onto her time.
Yeah, that is disastrous, and she'll be feeling the same way as Julia Simon.
can see the wind. It's not overly difficult. They're only 5 grams, the flags, but it does move the shot as it travels through the air ever so slightly. That's incredible handhold on Jima's rifle there, just in front of her right hand. That's where the left hand holds it in the stand position.
That'll be half a kilo added to the weight of the rifle.
It's worth it. Gives you a good bridge to build on.
Now, Hauser. Breakthrough season last year. It's a high position. Solid one. Excellent. Great start. And only 9.5 outside. Chance of going into the top 3 ahead of Tandrevold, who's on 22.3. And she does exactly that. Really, really encouraging performance from Lisa Theresa Hauser, and can just settle into her ski rhythm again as she sets out on lap number 2 of 5. Eckhoff in for a second shoot. Missed one, remember, on the first shoot.
One target miss from Chloe Chevalier. There's the hand hold. You can see it, Tyrrell Eckhoff's left hand. It's quite a deep part of the rifle stock to gain the height. Another minute added on, though. She's missed 2 now out of 10.
Missed the third shot on the first shoot. The first one on the stand shoot. Nothing to lose at this stage, Mike. Might as well just go for it. The mindset can change. Just relax a little as we watch Preutz trying to make it 10 out of 10. But there's her first miss of the day.
It's a very different race. We said earlier only 3 races out of the whole racing season will be in this event. The distance, the individual as it's called. And even when you miss 1 or 2 early on, you have to really try not to think too much and worry about other people or where those 2 penalties are going to place you. You just have to try and maintain your focus on this important part. That was just at 6 o'clock. Part of the bullet splashed onto the target, but not enough to knock it down. First shot missed. First shot fired with a World Cup bib on of the season. The wind is definitely picking up. Well, the Reuschland's shot it missed low, and the wind there slightly from right to left would generally push the fall of the shot low left at, say, 7 o'clock on the golf ball size target. I like this routine from Mari Eder. Big breath in between each shot of about 3.4 to 3.9 seconds between each shot, but it pays off. It's slow, yes, at 39 seconds, but there's no minutes added onto her time.
34 now, Mari Eder. So this may be her last opportunity to get to the Olympic Games this year. Needs some good results between now and Christmas just to make sure she's in the selectors' minds. Chevalier Boucher with a miss. Tandrevold with her first miss of the day. Didn't look quite as steady as she did last year. Now, Elvira Urberg, no surprise to see her set the fastest time, but Mike, that margin is massive ahead of her sister. 6.8 seconds at the first split.
That's intent. She set her stall out early. Fantastic routine from Denise Herrmann. Always appeared to be in control there, and it wasn't fast at 35 seconds, 35.7. And I think that's probably because, again, you can see the flags just making them count first time in. You always feel your race begins after the first shoot, so you want it to go well.
Oh. Oh, I should think it's a while since she's missed 50% of the targets in training. And just wondering whether it's home pressure or the pressure that her sister is now putting on her that has caused the deterioration.
Really surprised to see Hannah Öberg. She did look confused this time. What on earth is going on? She built her routine like normal. Just a little bit out of sorts. Often if you've had an irritation or there's pressure or maybe too busy with press requirements, there's something on her mind today.
Yeah, Hauser might losing 10 seconds on the climb out of the stadium on this second lap. So she's obviously not on brilliant form, but shooting well.
Yes, Hauser, you mentioned shooting well, and her teamer, well, her coach Gerard Hoenig, really improving her again. She released her first shot on 10 seconds. Hauser, when she came in for the first prone. Good start there. Easy on the range. Perfect zero for Hettich.
Now, Dorothea Vera with a really good opportunity here. 1.7 inside Franziska Preutz. But Preutz, remember, missing a target in the standing shoot. Oh. Well, that is a long way below par for Dorothea Vera. What about Elvira Öberg? First shot, first miss.
Same as Persson. Home pressure, maybe.
Well, she cleans up nicely after that first miss, so will keep herself in the, I should think, I thought she was going to be in the top 10, but no, she's down in 13th position. Just having a look to see how many have gone clear. Top 10 all shooting the perfect score.
Well, look at
Emma Lunder.
Yeah,
well, that's fantastic.
she was bold, just let those shots. She built the position well. She felt comfortable, didn't hesitate whatsoever, and all 5 with 5 rapid.
Yeah, never finished better than 7th, Emma Lunder. I wonder whether she's thinking of improving that today. Less she thinks of it, the better. Helen Bekova would have been within 15 seconds of the lead, and that would have put her into the top 3 or 4. But one miss, and she finds herself down in 18th place, just ahead of Lynn Persson.
Twice last year, Helen Bekova hitting all 20 out of 20 shots, but in the pursuit competitions, moving, well, from first down into second, actually, in Hochfilzen with that performance, and from 6th to 2nd in Nowe Miesto. Hauser.
Big opportunity. Look at that, 26 ahead coming into the range. She makes it 5 out of 5. This is solid. That's a really good shoot from Hauser. And what she got, 2 wins in her career. She won the mass start at the World Championships in Pachuca. And a very, very good individual win in Antolz. as we watch Davidova. Now, she was someone, another athlete we were expecting to do well. Eckhoff, top right-hand corner of your screen. 3 shoots, 3 misses. And it's not starting as she might have expected. But Davidova with a very, very nice shoot. She's taken a bit more time than Dorothea Viera. We saw Viera rattle the targets down. 6.8. She's in the running. And this is what we were expecting from her last year.
Yes, a little worrying for Tyrrell Eckhoff. Just a little restless, having praised her earlier for mastering it so well last year. But we saw last year that it was only in the first 2 World Cups where Eckhoff had some relatively poor performances. And then she just, from when we moved down to Austria, everything went perfectly.
Yeah, it was an interesting start to the season. What was she? 67th, 43rd, 8th. And then 1st. So a rapid improvement over the first 4 races. And then she was seldom out of the top 3 after that. With 13 wins.
Oh, incredible. Preutz was confused there. The win, she thought about adjusting her sight. She didn't, but it didn't pay off. She missed 2.
That's much more positive from Roysland. And really good second shoot. She's still a way off the leaders. But with if she can clear the next 10 targets, then you'd put a lot of money on her being in the top 3 come the end of the day.
Yes, that ski speed from Roysland, it's good. She's missed 1, remember, so she's effectively 10 seconds faster than those who have hit the perfect 10 so far.
Yeah, fans of Dorothea Viera, as we see Sola clear 5. Just a reminder, Viera missing 2 on that second shoot. The standing position finds herself 132 off the lead, which is currently held by Hauser. How biathlon has changed since Marieda first joined the World Cup Tour.
Well, she missed 1, but it didn't affect her. She just tried to maintain the same breathing routine. It paid off. And Kuklina, you can see the handhold, which she'll get later in stand shooting, just in front of the trigger finger. You can see the notches there where the fingers actually bed into the rifle, and that they pull the rifle into your shoulder to give it more firmness.
Tandrevold in for shoot number 3. Tandrevold just a minute 13 off the pace coming out of the range after the second shoot. So this is going to be competitive as well. She makes it 14 out of 15 and still has a chance of making it 2 World Cup wins in a row, having won the mass start here at the end of last season. Denise Herrmann now, remember, on the podium in this race last year.
I didn't see what happened to her, the fact where she needed to hand feed a spare round. The carry spare round, should one accidentally drop out of the chamber as it's going forward.
Yeah, it was a very conservative first lap from Herrmann, giving away 15, 16 seconds to Dorothea Viera. And remember, Herrmann coming from a cross-country background, so that's where her strength traditionally has been.
The Swedish team, Patrick, are confusing me today. They're missing so many at home. And I'm just thinking further down the start list, well, as we see the timings there, Stina Nielsen for her 3rd World Cup start place today. Maybe she'll feel like it's her day and can hit more targets than the rest of the team.
It certainly wouldn't do her any harm to be the best Swede. Elvira Öberg down in 19 with a miss. Vera leading after the first shoot, then missed 2 on the first stand.
Janina Hettich, she's got some good history in this race. Antholz finishing 5th. That was before the World Championships, only missing 1 on that occasion. And there she goes and misses 2. Just singing her praises there. Maybe she rushed her breathing routines there to run out of air for the last 2. I didn't see what maybe happened. Vera Öberg, as Patrick mentioned, the ski speed is excellent and much improved coming into the season. The last shot.
That's a real shame. That's a real shame. She would have been right up with the leaders, but she's only gone through the halfway stage. Now, Vera needs these last 2. Little bit of a delay.
That's unusual. Did the pin, the striking pin, hit the rim of the bullet? It didn't fire, and for 2 for that to happen, she's got a problem. That's so unusual. So has the firing pin gone? I think it might have. She doesn't get this time back, but she can get assistance. So she's pushing the breeches all the way forward, and if this one doesn't fire, nah, she's all right. Maybe some snow on the breech there, just not getting the full contact of the firing pin hitting the rim of the bullet. Good
Well,
recovery.
that certainly doesn't help her cause. Doesn't help her cause. From 41 seconds, she's going to be close to a minute 20, minute 25 behind the race leaders. How are the French getting on? Brézard Boucher with 3 misses on that very first shoot. That's a disaster. She can join Julia Simon in a coaching session tonight, I suspect, with the French shooting coach.
Well, that's a skiing speed's good. Let's look at the positives. We're 3:01 behind with 3 minutes penalty, but that's a horrible start, and it plays on your mind as you head out now, over the last 11, 12 kilometers.
Yeah, but you've got to bear in mind, Mike, 3 minutes. What's that? 1,400 meters on the snow.
Oh, horrendous. It's not a winning performance when you miss 3 straight away. So Vera, her brain was saying, right, there's something wrong with my rifle. Need help, need a screwdriver. And then she tried again with a spare round, and it worked. It worked twice. So nothing wrong with the rifle, it appears.
Now, big moment for Lisa Theresa Hauser. Her last win coming in Antholz in the individual. She actually won the individual title along with Vera last year. They both finished on 103 points. Hauser with a 38th, a 1st and a 4th. Only 2 of those results counting. She becomes hot favourite. That is fantastic. 15 out of 15. Eckhoff with a miss on each shoot so far. Oh, and then misses 2 on the last. So similar start to the season that we saw last year. Remember, she was 68th in the first race, 62nd, I think it was, in the first race of the year, and still went on to win the overall.
I think we can safely make a prediction here, Patrick, that the fastest last lap will be from this lady, bib number 3, Eckhoff. She'll be punishing herself out there now and clearly trying to bring some time back into her performance.
Or will she save herself for tomorrow? She knows her chance of top 5 has gone. Preutz started well. Had the lead for a while after that first shoot. It's a positive position, isn't it, Mike? Looks as though she's just got that little bit of forward lean on the stand.
Yes, I've always loved the way she's just such a calm person, generally a really nice person, and she doesn't get too flustered, but she snatched, she rushed, I think, that last shot, and normally she's a little better than that. She keeps the discipline all the way through.
Roysland, backed by a number of big names to be the champion this year. Oh, she'll have to shoot better than that if she wants to achieve that. So that's 3 misses already. And Norway not getting the start to the season that they expected. Now,
Takisaki, can she join Hauser as one of the athletes to clear 15 out of 15?
It's a wonderful start. She's been training with the British team throughout the summer, placing herself in Europe. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's very good. So the deficit 106 and another clear shoot. Takisaki could well find herself in the, well, a podium is not out of the question if she gets all 20, Mike.
It's certainly not, and at the moment, after the third shoot, there are only 3 athletes who've hit the perfect 15. And she's one of them.
Yeah, Hauser we've mentioned. Nigmatulina of Russia is another who's only 34 seconds off the lead. So there's still a fair amount of pressure on Hauser when she comes in for her last shoot. Kuklina. Last shoot for her. Last shoot for Tandrevold alongside her. 25-year-old from Oslo. Now, Mike, I know they've done some pre-season races, but what is the difference between your pre-season race and the World Cup, apart from the fact that obviously all the best are there, in terms of your form and your shooting and the psychology when you're shooting?
It is different, Patrick. I mean, yes, they've all had like team races or larger races like in Shushan, where many nationals turn up. It's not quite the same. You have a race bib, and there's a little tension because you're making selection as well. The French team, the Norwegian team making selection to the World Cup. So it's a different feeling. You've made it to a World Cup, you've got the bib on, and then you're back to your mindset, your relaxed focus, to your best mindset, I think, when you get to World Cup racing. But there are nerves today, Patrick, without a doubt. Big names missing many targets. Herman, that's only 1 out of 15. She's managing the process well.
Yeah, and Takisaki in third, 106. So she goes into the top 3, 105 behind. And should Hauser miss and Nigmatulina miss, then who knows? Maybe Denise Herman will go 1 better than the second place she produced last year. Julia Simon there, 6 misses in total. It all started off badly. I think those 3 misses on the first prone, Mike, must have rocked her confidence.
Oh, it can't be anything but that. And I think she did well to come back to the middle 10 shots. She only missed 1, so the mindset was back, the comfort was there. And then maybe just tense again, rushing the last 5 shots to pick up another 2 minutes penalty. And look way down the left of the range, the flags, the wind isn't playing a factor really. You're well sheltered down there. So there are many race nerves as we watch the race today. We've got to remember, though, Patrick, this is so difficult. And we maybe only get 5 athletes today, maybe 4 who will shoot the perfect 20 out of 20. And remember, their pulses are beating away at over 160 beats a minute as the first shot is being released. Vashnietkova, easy, relaxed, 5 out of 5.
Now, did you like to shoot with the same pulse rate in prone as standing, or do you like the prone pulse rate a little bit higher rather than slow and hard?
It's an interesting one. I found over the years, and as you do more and more years, it becomes more automatic. I think you try to build the same routines. That big deep 1 breath, once you've had 5, 6 breaths before the first shot, just try and build a routine between each shot. I try to do that in stand as in prone. Elvira skiing fast. Jean-Marc Chablot, he's bound to be disappointed that there's 4 targets missed already.
Yeah, not the best of days for the Urberg sisters, but that, you know, in the long run, that may be a good thing. Takes a little bit of pressure off them early season. Now, Nigmatulina, a potential winner here today. All 15 targets hit so far. She's 19 seconds up on Tandrevold, who leads at the moment. But remember, one miss, and that is a minute added. Well, there you go. Dorothea Viera in for her final shoot after the mechanical issues she had on the third shoot. Well, she's not out of it. She is not out of it. That's a very, very good performance from the Russian. Viera with a rare miss in the stand. She's not settled, Mike.
Incredible. Is it just too much pace to the first shot? She's now really taking her time to make sure the last couple of shots go down, but they don't, or the last one certainly didn't.
Yeah, she's certainly one of those athletes that when she has the rhythm, and I hesitate to say it, but when she thinks less about it, she tends to do better.
Oh, so much the case. But Emma Lunder, that's a great outcome.
Yeah.
Just one target missed, and into the lead time.
Goes ahead of Nigmatalina. That's a fantastic performance from her, and hopefully she can keep that going. Eckhoff, as you predicted, has gone hard on the last lap, but too little too late. 5 misses in all, 46.45. The winning time is likely to be around, what, the 42-minute marker, somewhere around there, maybe 43. We'll see. A lot depends on what Hauser does when she comes in for her final shoot. And Hauser should be in the next 30 seconds or so.
Well, what an interesting start. And, you know, taking the memories back to this time last year, it was over in Finland, and the Swedish team did so well. So many of the Swedish flags in the top 10. And a year later, it's not quite the case yet. And once again,
Mike,
Eckhoff, you know, not comfortable coming into the first few races of a World Cup season.
But you're absolutely right, Mike, as we watch Hauser. But just think what happened to the Swede after that. So Hauser now puts herself under pressure by missing the first shot. She still has a slim advantage. She needs this. She's got it. 4 out of 5 on the last shoot. She makes the same shooting score as Nigmatalina, but she had a 30-second lead over the Russian on that last lap. So advantage Hauser as she heads out of the stadium. We'll give you the time. She's got a margin of 35.3. Lunder in second place. Nigmatalina in third. And then Lisa Vitozzi, can you believe that? She's come out of nowhere. She missed 3 on the first shoot. She's hit all the remaining targets, and Vitozzi finds herself in 4th place.
What a turnaround, and that's great credit to her to remain calm for the next 15 shots fired.
But Davidova, Mike, just escaped, making her way out of the range. 15 out of 15 for her, and a 19-second advantage over Hauser's time. So Davidova can afford at the moment to hit just 4 out of 5 on that last shoot.
Well, what a race. Still a way to go in this race. There are more big names out there, but Vitozzi, that is outstanding. 3-0-0-0. She pulled it back.
Good finish from Roysland with a total of 17 out of 20. The Scandinavians struggling a bit on the range today, and likely to miss out on the first win of the season. So Hauser, Lunder, Nigmatalina have completed 4 shoots. Hanna Sola still has this prone and the stand to go. Markita Davidova is now well into her penultimate lap and has a very, very good position. No one else has made that sort of an impression after the second shoot. Nadia Moser, Mike, of Canada, clear after the first 2. She should be in fairly shortly for her third shoot and could be looking for a podium finish. Tandrevold is going to get inside. Preutz, she does. Tandrevold takes the lead despite 3 misses. Now, Nigmatalina up towards 13.5. She's just got a K&a-half to go. Once she reaches the top of this climb, the hard work pretty much done, because you carry so much speed into the next 2 uphill sections that it becomes more about technique. You need a fair amount of strength in the legs to cope with the corners, but the hardest work is done. 1:16 inside Tandrevold, so there's no doubt she's going to finish ahead of the Norwegian. But Hauser had plenty of time. Really, the big battle is between Lunde and Nigmatalina.
Yes, Nigmatalina, what a difference getting married makes. Of course, Kaisheva last year, and what a difference. She really has improved her game there in terms of ski speed. The shooting so far so good.
I'm not sure everyone would agree with that statement, Mike.
That was a throwaway statement. But what a difference a summer has made. She has improved.
It certainly makes a difference to your life. So Denise Herman clears the last 4, or last 5, I should say. Now that is going to be handy, Mike, because Herman was only 1:25 behind after the 3rd shoot, and she's got herself up into 2nd after the 4th. She's chasing Hauser and only has 7 seconds to make up, and I think Denise Herman played it pretty easy on that first lap.
It appeared that way, doesn't it? Although Herman, I thought, well, is she holding back? Is she focusing so much on the hitting of the targets? Now she can unleash or give all of her best performance, and I think she can pull those 7 seconds back on Hauser.
Well, we've got 5 minutes before Davidova, and I think, just double checking, I think Davidova might be the last real challenger. We do have Valentina Shevchenko. She started pretty well. She's gone through the halfway stage and is in the top 10. Hasn't missed a target so far. But Davidova in a very good position. But a fascinating battle. Herman chasing Hauser. Certainly at the beginning of last year, you put your money on Herman being able to close 7 seconds. Yes,
I think so. Hauser looks a little off her ski form. Certainly the shooting's there. I remember she improved so much, especially after Christmas last year, where she took her first podium and then went on to be a regular on the podium. So Hauser last year really did punch up the ski speed, and a little off that form at the moment. But hey, it's only the first race of the season.
Yeah, Emma Lunde looks a different animal this year. That's a really good fighting performance. Technique starting to get a little bit ragged, but the effort is in there, and she may well be heading for her best ever result. Lunde sitting in 3rd after the 4th shoot at the moment, so a podium's possible. I think top 5 probably more realistic as we watch Nigmatalina come in, and 0-0-0-1. That one miss almost certainly costing her the win. 1:15 inside, and that is a fabulous, fabulous run from her. Just looking to see what she's done relative to Tandrevold. Yeah, she's taken a little bit of time out of the Norwegian on that last lap.
So happy for Vitozzi. She missed 3. She put it right after that. And, well, so far, a very good start to her season.
Emma Lunde goes into 2nd place. Wow, is that going to cost her the podium? It would be her first ever podium. Never done better than 7th place, remember, Emma Lunde. And the Canmore-based athlete has excelled in the very first race of the season.
There are more big names still out there to produce some hopefully accurate shooting to maybe challenge the top.
Davidova started number 37 and should be in the next 50 seconds or so, maybe even quicker than that.
Perfect. Good control and good position built there, and clearly only thinking of routine rather than what the outcomes will be if I miss 1 or miss 2, or should I hit all 5.
Now, I wonder how much support Hauser has had out there on the tracks. She's a big figure, Mike, so she always looks as though she's skiing slightly slower than others. She's about power more than tempo, but does she know that Hermann is chasing her time? She's got a huge margin. Lunda's down into third, Nigmatalina in second, Hauser the new leader, 44.01. Will that time stand? Hermann, who missed one target as well, 7 seconds adrift with 1 lap to go. 3 kilometers for the German to make up those 7 seconds. That's the sort of challenge that 2 years ago she would have eaten without any effort at all. But I'm not sure. Well, it's the first World Cup. We don't really know what the form is like. I'm trying to get some splits out on the track, Mike, but the change in format isn't allowing me to see exactly what's going on.
Well, just I've got it. 11.3. Davidova's 26.5 ahead of Hauser, and 103 Nigmatalina, and Tandrevold 123 behind. So here she is.
This for the win. That is how to do it. 20 out of 20. And Davidova, who was by many expected to win the first race last season, is just a year late. But it won't matter. That is the perfect way to start an Olympic season. Roysland just across the line. All the Norwegians missing targets today. Davidova can enjoy this one. Look at the margin. 119 ahead. She's what, 400, 500 meters clear of the nearest challenger. And Davidova surely is going to romp home to her first victory of this season.
Quite incredible. That was a brilliant performance, maintaining all of her composure. The pressure now in her mind must have been huge. She got rid of all that, built the position well, and a great outcome.
Outstanding from Davidova. Looked very, very relaxed indeed. She's only had 2 wins so far in her career. She's young, 24. Certainly at 21, 22, we were starting to take notice of what she was achieving. And of course, her best performance to date, the World Championship win that she got in Pachuca in, guess what, the individual event where she hit 20 out of 20. She's repeated that again today. 6th place for Takizaki. And Mike, that one shot on the last shoot has cost her a podium. That's a really, really good effort from the Japanese athlete.
Oh, she's such a good shot. She's come into the season with that same high level of shooting performance. Now, what's Hermann managed to achieve? I thought she would have eaten this 7-second deficit up already, but she hasn't. She's still got 5 more to find.
Yeah, and she's not going to do that. She's only got 500 meters to go. So Hauser is safe in top spot for now. Nigmatalina, who was 46 behind, is 46 behind. She's going to go down into 3rd and eventually should be pushed off the podium by Markita Davidova. But another good start to the season by Hermann. Mike, don't forget she was 2nd in this race last year behind Dorothea Vera, but then her season really unraveled.
Yes, it did. I think everybody thought, well, she's mastered this sport. She's mastered it again. She's only missed 1 out of 20. But the ski speed doesn't appear to be there yet. That can be worked on. For me, that's the easier part. The harder part is mastering the shooting.
Just 5 seconds outside the leading time. And even with all 20 targets, Hermann would have struggled to challenge Markita Davidova, who's got a lead of 119 over Hauser at the start of the last lap.
There's still big names out there. Well, here's Shemirenko, and Stina Nielsen has just gone through the first time check. She's only 4 minutes old in this race, but she's in 3rd position ski time-wise. Dropping down to 5th now.
Excellent shooting from Valentina Shevchenko hasn't missed the target so far. The ski pace isn't there compared to Davidova, but another 5 out of 5, and she might have a chance of making the top 3.
Well, the sharpshooters from Sweden, the big names, Elvira and Hanna Öberg, the sisters. It hasn't gone well for them today. Anna Magnusson, she's really taking it easy here on the range, trying to make sure the targets go down, but often a break in routine can put you out. She maybe tried too hard there. Elvira Öberg, 158 behind, 158.9, and 8th position. Notten. Excellent. Just one mistake today. The ski speed, she's 240 off the pace at the moment. Unlikely to be able to pull any of that deficit back on Davidova's time. But 19 out of 20 today. Great credit to her for achieving the shooting score. I'm just trying to find where Stina Nilsson is as we see Davidova for the last time. She'll be happy, the last time coming up this rise. Look at the time. The perfect shooting score has handed her 1 minute, and her fast skiing. She's been very fast on the skis the last 2 or 3 seasons. 120 advantage. She's only been 37, but a lot of the big names of the coaches have put them in the first couple of groups. And well, Mona Broersen is a late starter at 92, and then we've got Kalkenberg at 107. Just big names that I think may have some impact on the race. Retsova, bib 110, and Stina Nilsson, the former champion cross-country skier. She's got the rifle on, and for the 3rd time she's racing World Cup biathlon today. Love this camera shot. You can just see how the ski comes in and under the center part of the body, pushing the foot forward. Davidova, so efficient on those skis. Alimbekova, just final few meters of her race, likely to slot into 3rd position. So far, of course, that's going to drop down at least 1 place as Davidova comes across the line. With 28.3 behind, it's a great start.
Yeah, with 2 misses as well, Mike. She's outskied Denise Herrmann. She's outskied Lisa Theresa Hauser. So that's very, very encouraging.
You can tell normally athletes are on their knees, exhausted, but it is an easy journey down. You come from the high point up in the field behind the big tower. It's a fairly easy section into the finish line.
Alimbekova still in 4th after that 4th shoot, which is where she's likely to stay as we watch Anna Weidel for Germany, yet to miss. If she stays within 2 minutes of the leaders, then she could find herself in the top 10. That's the way to do it. Nice shooting, 15 out of 15. 1 to go in the stand position. Davidova started 37, so she should be in very, very shortly round that last S-bend and heading down towards the stadium.
I think what a factor, Patrick, which can unsettle the athletes today. We mentioned there's only 3 individual races in the whole race calendar, so this one today is important to gain your selection or to at least secure it a little for the Olympics.
Well, for some, it's about staying on the team for the next phase of the World Cup post-Christmas, because we won't have this many starters in all the World Cups. Davidova crosses the line, 1:17 the margin. Immaculate performance for the first race of the year. No one will touch that time, and 42.43 is going to get a maximum World Cup points. A famous win, a nice check. You couldn't really ask for more at the start of the season, and she made it look very easy.
She certainly did. The ski speed was fast from the word go, and steady on the rifle. We mentioned that. She took a reasonable amount of time, over 30 seconds from stop to start. She didn't stress or rush at all on the range. .03.01. The routine today in this race, it's you come in for the first time, it's prone, then stand, then prone, and then the final 5 shots standing. So 0.301. All those penalties came in stand shooting.
First place på Bensko. Ytterligare som ska kunna göra någonting här uppe nu i täten då, även om vi har många kvar. Vi väntar i mål på Vanessa Hint, kämpar om topp 10 och blir över här. Igen nu kommer inte tyskarna greja. Vanessa Hint i natten.
Well, it's a refreshing results sheet at the moment, Mike, with the Czech Republic, Austria, Germany, Belarus, Russia, Canada, Norway, Italy, Japan, and Sweden. 10 nations, 10 places. I can't remember the last time that happened, if it's ever happened.
I'm not sure it's ever happened. That is very healthy for biathlon. Mona Brorsson missing 1 out of the last 5. As Vanessa Hintz comes in. I was just looking at the shooting after the first prone. Vitozzi was down in 109th position, missing 3, and she's worked her way all the way back to 8th position so far.
Fantastic effort. If only. What do you think went wrong on that first shoot?
I really think she was a little unsettled with her teammate Dorothea Vera having shot so fast. First shot gone in 11 seconds, whole process in 21. I thought she was a little unsettled. She noticed that.
Yeah, but those two have raced and trained enough together to be able to get over that. They can't go on using their rivalry as an excuse forever.
Small factors do make a difference.
Well, here's a shot of your winner today. The race has still got a long way to run, but no one's going to touch Marketa Davidova's time. An immaculate performance, 20 out of 20. Klemencic from Slovenia.
Our new system of finding the athletes as they go through. Stina Nielsen, her shooting wasn't great first time in. She's missed 2 out of 5. She's in 87th position, so she won't be challenging Davidova.
Yeah, I wonder what the deal is with Nielsen this year, Mike, whether she's got to make an impression in these first 2 weeks or whether she's got a ticket through to Christmas.
Yeah, difficult when the team normally is so good. As Shemarenko misses the last shot, normally she's stronger than that, better than that. As Naughton comes in, missing only 1 and losing somewhat 30 seconds, 26 seconds maybe on the last lap to the fastest. The Belarus team, it has a good history in terms of performances, and I think now the team is growing again as strong as it has ever been. As I said, that Leshanka missing 2 of her 5 having hit the first 10.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Daria Domracheva played a big role in the current crop of athletes. Just inspiration, and then lots of knowledge passed on as we watch Mironova across the line. 3:45, 3 targets missed, so she'll be doing the calculations and find out that had she hit all of them, she would have been into second place. Now we need some of the Chinese to perform over the next few weeks, just so there's a chance of having some spectators at the biathlon in the Olympic Games. What is it, 5th through to the 22nd of February, the dates for the Olympics this time around?
Yes, they've certainly a great coaching team behind them, the Chinese team. We didn't see much of them, any of them at all last year.
Well, there is Stina Nielsen, top right-hand corner, second shoot.
In the summer, she did win the Swedish Championships on roller skis. Well, she missed 2 out of 5 first time. Perfect 5 out of 5 second time in.
Yeah, that's good, because the crowd was starting to react to every shot, and I thought that might be her undoing, but she stayed focused. And what do you feel, Mike? You know, World Cup winning cross-country skier, absolutely outstanding at the top of her game, World Championship winning, and then suddenly she switches to biathlon, where she's struggling even to get into the national team.
It's quite a major decision to make, and Stina says that she just, having made the change to biathlon, she loves it. She says it's a whole new dynamic where not only do you have to punch hard, push hard on the track, but you've got this really strong psychological change to become the calmest person in the world in this big fight, the big cross-country fight. So she loves that crazy combination. And to win the national championships on roller skis on these tracks in the summer, she missed 0 in the pro and then 2 penalties standing. She outskied the rest of the team. I believe that if we see her staying in the team, I think we'll see her on the podium at least 3, maybe 5 times this season. She just needs a little more World Cup experience.
Now, Vidal 1:56 behind, 8th place after the 3rd shoot. She's going to be up into the top 5, I think, if these all go down.
The brain held her back. She was on a routine and she's paused now for the last shot.
Well, it was worth the wait.
It was
worth the wait. Lunda maybe pushed down into 6th position, so she goes 20 out of 20. Excellent shooting. I think I'm right in saying, Mike, that Davidova the only one clear so far?
She is. I've just having a look at those scores. So far, she is.
Well, there you get the current standings at the finish, with a few still out on the course. Davidova sitting pretty at the top of the table. Fantastic performance from her. Elvira Erberg skiing fast but shooting badly. 5 misses in total, only 3:16 behind. So when she hits the target, she is going to be a threat to the leaders, no doubt about it. Valentina Shevchenko was challenging early on, but looks to be tiring now. And with that 1 missed shot on the last shoot, puts herself out of contention for a top spot.
The experience, though, the older athletes, if you repeat something so many times, just the physical on the skis and then coming into the range thousands of times, you build a better routine. So a lot of the older, more experienced biathletes can manage this race in terms of shooting, more so than, say, the younger, less experienced athletes. And Valentina Shevchenko proving just that. At least we can recognize them this year in the new suit. It's a standout suit.
Now, this is a good shooting performance by Lee.
Good skiing as well for an 11th position.
Well, that's outstanding. We've seen one or two unusually good performances so far today. I think Emma Lunde deserves lots of praise for what she's done. She's currently lying in 6th place, having hit 19 out of 20. Lotte Lee, 248 behind. I think she's possibly a top 10. I think she's just going to miss out on that. Takizaki of Japan currently lying in 10th, as you can see. Elvira Erberg on 316. Well, she might squeeze inside that and push the best Swede back down another position. She does. 11th place, wonderful race, and a brilliant way to start the year.
So Lee, who lives in Lillehammer, one of her best performances, just missing one target, and 11th position at the moment. So Davidova clearly at the top, 119 ahead of Hauser, so that's a great position, a great result, and she'll remain there, I'm quite sure, for the rest of the race. Retsova, well, you can see the ski speed there with the same shooting as Davidova to this point, and she's 1:04 behind in terms of ski speed. So Retsova coming back into her new season, missing last year. The ski speed not quite there yet. Shooting skills are excellent. So Valentina Shevchenko, well, it's going to be a top 15 possibly as she finishes, and take that 1 minute penalty away. As all the biathletes do at the end of the day, it can be so much better unless you've hit all 20. So 12th place at the moment for Shevchenko. And Magnussen, having missed 3, 420 behind. And 3, well, that's probably an average shooting score today. 3 missed from 20 shots fired. And on what is an easy day for Oestersund World Cup racing. We've often seen it very strong winds here and races cancelled in the past.
No change in the top 10 for a while. Weidel of Germany can't do much better on the range than that. Maybe just a second or two quicker with each shoot, but the coach has to be happy. And that's a very, very good performance from her.
Well, the Shanka, her pulse is still on 156 beats a minute as she fired the last shot. So that's some 25 seconds. So well, I'd expect it was well over 175 as she built her shooting position. And you don't see that on the camera. You don't see the discomfort that you're in. You really are on the edge. You need to get as much air in as possible, but without moving the rifle. So one big breath, hold and fire. You have no time wastage at all.
Late start for Kalkenberg today. Not sure that it's made a massive difference in terms of either the wind or the ski speed.
No, I don't. I think you're right. It's pretty safe conditions all round. I suppose the only thing is beginning to lose light at 1 o'clock local time.
Yeah. It's not affected her so far. 13 out of 13. 14 goes down as well. She makes it a clean sheet for the third time in succession. And Kalkenberg, who did pretty well here at the end of last season, got what did she get? A 5th in the pursuit, I think it was, having started outside the top 20. So she's a very good shot, and then finished 10th in the mass start, which was pretty much not her introduction, but she missed the middle season on the World Cup Tour. So Kalkenberg certainly a force for the future. The margins are pretty substantial in the top 10 at the finish, over 2 minutes 50. Takizaki actually over 3 minutes. Takizaki 3:04 behind. So Retseva, there's a place in the top 10 waiting if she can hit at least 4 out of 5 in the next shoot.
It's pretty good. Retseva, she was pretty easy and safe through the rifle there. And so much pressure, maybe in her earlier career, with having such a famous mother who took medals, Olympic medals in cross country and then later in biathlon. She had a lot to live up to.
Yeah, Vidal coming in. She's going top 10 for now. We're now going to have 3 Germans in the top 10. It's been a while since that happened. Into 7th place, just behind Emma Lunde, who survives in 6th at the moment. So the top positions as they stand. Davidova leads, and it looks an unassailable lead. 1:17 clear of Lisa Theresa Hauser of Austria. We got Denise Herrmann in 3, Alembekova in 4, Nigmatalina 5 for Russia, with just 1 miss today. Emma Lunde in 6, Vidal, Roisland, Voigt and Vitozzi. So having had 10 nations in the top 10, that has changed a little. Takizaki and Lee have been pushed out. Shemarenko started so well, looked very promising. I think she'll be happy with the way it started. 25th position for Tirolekov, in danger of not getting any World Cup points at all.
Just there's a couple of athletes didn't finish. Amanda Lightfoot, one of them, didn't see what happened out there. Amanda and Darcy Morton from Australia also hasn't finished. And we mentioned earlier Susan Dunkley didn't start the race. Doesn't seem that long since the Olympics were in Korea. The investment into the biathlon team leading into that, the 6 years leading into Korea, was quite huge. And good to see the athletes still competing as expected in the years afterwards and performing well. Some good performances within the season. And a reasonable start there from Moon. 2 targets missed out of 15 shots fired. Well, Mona Brorsen, she'll be aware of what she has to do here, but if the 5 go down, she puts herself into a very strong position, possibly even for a podium. But she needs to shoot quick.
She's had the occasional meltdown on her last shoot. Let's hope it doesn't happen today. Good start.
Incredibly high pulse, 179 as she took the rifle off. Oh. Well, Jean-Marc knows what that would have meant. Should be on the chase, actually, for a third slot on the podium, but not anymore.
Now she's looking at a top 8 is possible. She might get ahead of Vanessa Voigt of Germany, into 9th for now, 2:40 behind. If she can keep that margin, she will stay top 8.
Which will place her as the best Swedish performance today, so that's something to fight for.
Yeah. Yeah, the top 10 noticeable by the absence of Scandinavians, really. Only Roysland at the moment sitting there down in 8th position. And after Norway was so dominant last year, skiing is okay. They're skiing fast enough to win, there's no doubt about that. But Norway shooting badly, Sweden shooting very, very poorly when you consider it's their own range. But you have to consider the crowd effect, which generally doesn't help.
Meng looking really tired in the final stages of her race. Great coaching team, and Jean-Pierre Amat, for a couple of years now, their shooting coach, was the builder of the great shooting in the French team originally. He's from an Olympic gold background in 50-meter shooting, and he really has helped the French teams over the years. Now China. In fact, I'd heard when he was offered the job, he didn't really want to spend a lot of time over in Asia, and so he just came up with a crazy figure, and they provided, so he had to take the job. But he's working with Oleana Bjorndalen, Dombracheva. It's a good team, very good coaching setup. This is the big drop down, the fast descent, then a little rise up before you switch left. So you're recovering all the way down that section. This section here is slightly further back. You've then to climb back up the field. And here's the little rise just in front of the camera as you spin back down into the stadium.
Yeah, it's never too bad when the legs are fresh, Mike, but you know, at the end of a 20K, certainly the men are going to be struggling to hold the perfect line on that section.
And I think, if anything, the track, you can see there, it's with a lot of machine-made snow, the crystals become quite large and it becomes very sugary, quite loose underneath the skis. So maybe a slight advantage in terms of ski speed being in Group 1 for the women. Here comes Stina Nielsen. Well, Kalkenberg, look at that time. She knows full well what she needs to do here, but looks so calm. It's a good way to be.
1:11 outside the best. Second place Hauser is 1:17 behind. 5 out of 5, and a top 3 is begging her first podium. Well, she makes it 4 out of 5. It's still going to be a respectable score. She should go into the top 10. She might well be the best Norwegian, which would be, you know, that's nothing to sniff at. And I think if she can come in ahead of Eckhoff and Roysland, she pretty much gives herself a ticket through to the post-Christmas World Cup. So I'm impressed with that. And it's not the first time that Kalkenberg has done well here in Oestersund. Now Nielsen hit 5 out of 5 last time in the stand. Doesn't manage it this time. Oh, that's a shame.
Well, the journey to master the feelings, the movement, the technique, the skills of hitting targets, it's still not quite there for Stina Nielsen. And especially when the pressure builds and you're racing with a World Cup bib on. So Retsova about to be absorbed by, what, 1 minute? As Stina Nielsen will pass her.
Yeah, Nielsen down in 47th position, Mike. Even with the perfect shoot, she would still be some 40 seconds off the pace, most of which, or all of which, will have been lost on the range rather than out on the ski tracks.
I agree. So again, there's areas there where only 2 years old in biathlon, she can absolutely improve. But at least she's beginning to understand the feelings and how to control them when you come in to shoot.
Yeah, but she's not far behind Dorothea Viera, just a couple of places. Not far behind Selena Gasparin, who started so well. And just looking at some of the names that she heads. Elisa Gasparin is down in 54 at the moment. Lena Heike, 57. Now is Basurga Genem. Oh, just spoke too soon. Oh, the last two. The last two. Yeah. You don't need to guess what was said by the coach. That's a real shame. That would have been fantastic.
Yes, and given that she's only one race old in terms of World Cup racing, of course, we saw her winning the medals, some medals at the Junior World Championships last year. I think Basurga has a long way to go in this sport. She's only 21. And what a pity she melted a little there last time in.
What do you think she was thinking after 18 shots?
That's the whole thing. She would have started thinking, oh, this is my day. Any little impulse of thought and it just breaks you. It moves your muscles, tighten up. It's a very strange experience. And that's all in the storm of the rifle moving anyway, with your heartbeat and trying to control your breathing.
Absolutely. Brosen with 2 misses, as you can see. Roysland on 238 is safe. Voigt on 251. That's going to be relatively close. She's got 10 seconds or so to get inside that, but I'm pretty sure she's going ahead of Vitozzi, who's on 255. She is going to manage that. It's a top 10 finish for now for Mona Brosen. That's excellent. Voigt down in 10, and well, that's a good finish from her. Was outside the top 10 after that 4th shoot. She's worked hard on the last 3K lap.
That was a great effort, a top 10 position, and the best of the Swedes are shooting 0-1-0-1. Oh, take that one away, but well, she would have been in 5th position. So Kalkenberg going wide the long way around the corner. That's because the snow on the inside is so mashed up and it's slower. You're pressing your ski deeply into the crystals. So she's reading the track well. It's a lonely race starting in the last group, especially one of the last numbers. It's an empty track, and a lot of the coaches have gone in to get a coffee, talk to their athletes.
Yeah, Kalkenberg in 8th after the last shoot. And looks as though she may just better Roysland. There's not a huge amount in it. What's that, 16 seconds to play with, 17 seconds to play with. Should be able to hold on to that sort of a margin. And Kalkenberg is going to push Roysland down into 8th at this rate. And Vanessa Voigt of Germany, who's currently lying in 10th, may miss out on a top 10 spot.
Well, who would have predicted the best Norwegian would be, well, potentially Kalkenberg. We'll have to wait and see if she gets ahead of Roisland.
Yeah, and Retseva coming up to 13.5 as well. Retseva was in 9th coming out of the stadium, and she's still in 9th, just ahead of Kalkenberg. So really good battle between those two. Yeah, Retseva looks a little bit sparkier than Kalkenberg at that stage.
Oh, woof. When the legs are tired, it can get icy just over that little dip, and it doesn't look much as we watch it on our screens, but coming over that rise, it's quite fast, it's quite nippy.
Well, I'm just thinking, Mike, some of the ski times from the later starters have been quite impressive, and the temperature has dropped, what, 1.5 degrees since the start of the race. I'm just wondering whether that is becoming a factor.
Quite possibly. What are we, 17 past 1 local time? And I think the wind, if anything, ever so slightly, the wind influence on the range was a little kinder for the last part of the race. Strong skiing.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it's really positive, and her prone shooting. I know we didn't see her too much on the World Cup last year, but her prone shooting was fantastic, 91%. And as I mentioned, she produced some very good results here at the end of last season. She started today with 10 out of 10 in the prone position. So she's really someone to keep an eye on over the next season or two to see if she can take it up to the next level. 2:03 behind at the moment. We've got Vidal on, or at the finish, we've got Lunder on 2:05, she won't get there. Roisland on 2:38. She should beat that, so she's going up into the top 7, possibly. Is she going to make it? She will. Excellent finish from Kalkenberg. She's dug deep, and I think that probably a confirmation that the tracks are getting a little bit faster in the later stages of the race.
Very impressive. She looked composed, she was in a world of pain, and she just kept the efficiency of her glide on each leg and really punched her way up these climbs.
Yeah, the best Norwegian on the day. Fancy that when you have Tandrevold, Roisland, Eckhoff in the team. It's the youngster who's come through to show them all how to do it.
And the least favoured by the coaches' submission of putting her in the final group there. So clearly she wasn't favoured for the best result today. Well done to her.
Yeah. Retseva coming across the line, 2:27, and actually was 1.5 seconds up on Kalkenberg at the top of the hill, but has lost ground in those last, what, 600-700 meters. So well done to Kalkenberg. Holds on to her 7th. Retseva now 8. Vidal 9 for Germany. Roisland of Norway still hanging on to a top 10 finish, but it's Markita Davidova that has excelled here today, 42.43. The shooting actually improving later on in the race as well as the skiing, Mike.
Yes, it certainly does appear that way, and yeah, the flags, just that margin less influence in terms of wind as Tang comes across. Take those 2 penalties away, so she's still, well, 2:44 off the pace in terms of skiing. That doesn't make her happy, sadly.
Vidal, Zhang, and of course Markita Davidova all shooting the perfect score. I haven't managed to find anyone else who's gone clean today. Kalkenberg missing just 1 on the last shoot, Retseva likewise, and Nigmatulina also hitting the first 15 but missing 1 on the last shoot. But it was Davidova who set the pace early on and held on to it. Italy, best of the Italians, Lisa Vitozzi, having missed 3 on the very first shoot.
Yes, I don't know if you mentioned there, Patrick, Zhang has also shot the perfect score, finishing 16th. That's a good result for the Chinese athlete.
Yeah, I don't blame you not listening to what I say, but I had actually got that in.
I beg your pardon. And I was surprised. I thought maybe we'd get 5 perfect scores today. And I think it shows early season, the routines, you're still a bit nervous with the first time World Cup bib on of the season, on an Olympic season. And a lot of those last shots, or 2 out of 5 missed out of the last 5 targets shot at, a lot of that was nerves and pressure, self-pressure.
Yeah. And also, Mike, the press conferences, the talk has all been about the Urbergs and the Norwegians, you know, your Royslands and your Eckhoffs. So many of the names who are at the top today haven't been mentioned since last year. so they don't really have that level of expectation on their shoulders that the superstars do.
Yes, and that makes a difference. It really does. And the superstars want to get off on the right foot for the season, and maybe just trying that little bit too hard on the range.
Well, the top 40 all getting World Cup points, so a few for Tyrrell Eckhoff. Denise Herrmann, outstanding performance from her. She gets 3rd. She was 2nd last year. Hauser looked to be in a winning position, but she missed 1 on the last shoot. Markita Davidova, she could have missed 1 on the last shoot, and she still would have won. As it is, she went clear. The perfect shoot, the perfect start to the 2022 season. And is it going to be her year? A big smile says she's full of confidence, and her performance today, absolutely outstanding. Well, remember, we've still got the men's race to come this evening in Oestersund, an event that I think for the last 16 years has been won by just France and Norway. Will anyone else get a look in? We'll have to wait and see on that count. Well, great to see Canada in the top 6. Emma Lunder, outstanding performance. 1 more target down, and she would have been in 2nd place. She'll be looking at that and wishing that had happened, but she just needs to take confidence from what she's done today. She looked to be skiing fantastically well and only missed 1 target. Kalkenberg, the young Norwegian, 7th place, hitting 19 out of 20. Retseva, we saw a late starter, 110 she started, and finishes in 8th ahead of Anna Weidel, who is the 2nd of the Germans. In fact, 3 Germans in the top 12. But Davidova of the Czech Republic, the champion today and the leader of the World Cup standings after race number 1. Johannes Tingis, odds-on favourite to retain the overall World Cup title. Samuelsson will be looking to raise Swedish spirits after a poor performance by the Swedish women today. So the men's individual coming up after the cross-country in Ruka.
Marketa, congratulations. What a fantastic way. 20 out of 20 a win. Can it start any better?
Yeah, I'm really happy with this because it's not my favorite competition, and also the shooting. I'm not so good in it, so it started to be better maybe. But I'm really happy that I start like this.
But you're the world champion in this format.
Yeah, I know, but I think I was really lucky in Pokluka, so.
But how tough is it to start the season with individual? Maybe you have so much questions and it's such a demanding competition, but you pull it out.
Yeah. I think I fight with myself on track, and I was like, I just have to go to the finish, and everything other was like in the fog or whatever, and so I think this maybe helped me to stay and go.
And if I tell you tomorrow you have the yellow bib?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Janis, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, let's line up. So, Nikita. Take your camera in the front. Okay. We start the street. Come on, let's
kilometer in the windrow race. The prizes will be awarded by Mr. Anders, CIO in third place, representing Germany, Dennis Kappa. Second place, and the runner-up from Austria, Teresa Hauser.
Thank you.